Hi, my name's Martin Abraham from Nibiru, London, and fortnightly on a Monday we get together with the participants of MHA Enfield to create a podcast. This week I asked the members, what advice would you give to your 25-year-old self? And here are their answers.
I was married with 2 children by the time I was 25. We married at 19 because, I don't know, that's what you did in them days, because premarital things didn't happen until you were married. You didn't get a free trial in them days. It's a different life we live these days. But my big advice to people is listen to your wife and try and get by. Help each other, which we always did. We always took, if we were buying something, we always put half each. We never liked hire purchase, so we always saved for stuff, because in the trade I was in, I knew how much hire purchase cost, and it's cost you in the long run. Don't get in too much debt is my big advice to people. It catches up with you. That's the big problem with most people these days, is they don't understand how interests works. That's my advice to the younger generation.
At 25, I was in a really good relationship, and we finally got married. But unfortunately, after 18 years together, we decided to split up. I could see we were going in different directions and we wanted different things, and we just couldn't reconcile to each other. So we split up, and it was such a shame, because in many ways it was good, but my health started to suffer, so I had to give up that relationship. So if I was looking back, I would say be aware of how you are in a relationship, and don't stay in it too long. If you think that things are getting a bit messy, do something about it.
I'm Grace, and I can only say at 25 I was doing fine, and just carry on doing what you do. You will be fine, girl. And don't forget, tomorrow is another day. That's all. Thank you.
My name is Hilda. I came from South America, Guyana, and it's a different culture altogether. I came here when I was 21, and in my country, the culture was you just have a free idea of not trusting everybody. When I came out for here, I found the culture was different. Trust no one, because I got caught with so many people, trusting them, scammed by them and all of that. So that's me. Don't trust anybody until you know them and get the confidence, know them in and out.
My name is Hamida Naz. I'm from India. And when I was 25, I had a very good job. And I was single. And of course, I kept spending a lot of money buying clothes. And, it was quite difficult, because, when you're working, you got to think to pay rent, you have to think of your food, etc. So, and I was buying beautiful shoes to match my dress, and I was all dressed up. Every time I went out to a party, I made sure I'm the best dressed woman. And I kept saying to myself, I must stop that. I got there eventually. And, that's the one advice I would give. If you have a job, do be careful. You've got to think of all the expenses that's coming, and not just going to spend my money like I did on having a hair done and having beautiful clothes. That's not life, You have to think ahead. Thanks.
I'm John, and I came to Enfield before I was 20, so I'm almost a local boy. But on reflection, I would use the years from 20 to 25 to try different things, be adventurous, don't be too shy, have a go at things. I was too cautious and too careful, and there were things I could have done, particularly in my late 20s, travel to begin with, and perhaps work about a bit and try something different. By the age 30, it's time you were settling down. But then you've got to find a girl who'll cope with you. Not so easy. And really do things while you can. You've got no responsibilities.
My name is Stephen. My angle is to compare 50 years ago to today. 50 years ago, I would have thought somebody 70 plus is extremely old and decrepit and whatever. and I've not turned out to be too bad at that. And I mean, the job that I had 50 years ago is paying my pension and whatever, so that worked out okay. Well, I mean, 60 years ago I was following local football and local cricket, and I'm still doing that at this advanced age. And I mean, you compare other things and think, how does somebody buy a house now on the amount of wages compared with what the wages situation was 50 years ago, and various other things of coping like that. So I'm saying, wait around, things will get better, and they have, and I'm perfectly okay, and well, I'm as okay as life will allow me to have, and be happy and hope to go for another decade or more.
I'm Jasmine, and at 25 I had a full life going, family, profession and everything, and I was running about the place. One thing I would give to myself is calm down a little bit from what I'm doing, and probably less children at that age at 25, because it's a handful and you never get a minute to yourself. So that's what I would say to anyone. 4, yeah. Done everything by the time I was 25.
Hi, my name's Tony, and my advice to the 25-year-old would be stop drinking after the 6th pint. This was a problem, and it carried on, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's my advice.
Hi, Mike. Advice for myself at 25. 25 was a strange year because I got married when I was 25, so one could have 2 sets of advice, either pre or post marriage. Pre-marriage, I would have advised myself to save more, to spend less. Post-marriage, perhaps should have gone into it with a much greater commitment than I had. I'm not saying that in any nasty way, but could have been greater, and worked harder at making a success of it. So, opportunities will arise. Sometimes they need to be taken up, and sometimes one feels they're just something put in your path to confuse you. So, opportunities arise. In an ideal world, you'll pick up the opportunity and either take it or reject it, because sometimes you do get it wrong. Work hard, try and make the best you can for your family. Children can be very trying. Sometimes I wonder whether I could have done more for the children. I think I did pretty well, but one always has these lingering doubts that perhaps more could have been done. Think yourself lucky if you've got a job where you get a pension at the end of it, because as one gets older, that becomes a vital point of your life. And perhaps the most important thing is to make some provision for yourself when you get older, because unless you're extremely unfortunate, or fortunate if you believe in going to heaven, you will need that when you age, because age you definitely will.
I'm Jill, and like Mike, I got married when I was 25. And yes, that seems to have worked very well indeed. We are still married, nearly 58 years later. But yes, no, I've been very fortunate, and I don't think I would change anything.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to find out more information about Nibiru London, please go to our website, niburulondon.com.